So Saturn just went into retrograde as of yesterday, and it's going to stay there through most of the year until about the middle of October. And Saturn goes retrograde every year, so this isn't necessarily like a really big or different transit to be happening. But what is interesting about it is that it takes about 30 years for Saturn to come around a chart to a certain sign. So it's been about 30 years since it's retrograded in Capricorn. It's a sign that it's happy in, so this is a good thing. And Capricorn represents a lot about structure, has to do with systems and the way we organize our lives. This can be both in our individual lives as well as on kind of on a global scale or a societal scale too. So Saturn really being the karmic debt collector of astrology, when it goes retrograde, a lot of what this process is it's coming back around to kind of show us what we've done and maybe give us a test on what we've done to create this structure, organization, and things like that. So it is a really kind of interesting transit in that sense that it's a good time that we're going to want to look at our individual lives, the structures we've created, how much discipline we've given to creating solid structures, and this will sort of give us a chance to revisit this piece of our lives and see how did we do and how are these things going to hold up? Have we created sustainable systems? So we can see this on the global level. I think it's going to have a lot to do with COVID and the pandemic, how we've handled it, the steps we've put in place to take care of it, how well and how complete we've done that. This will be sort of test time on that level. I think it's going to have a lot to do also with governments and things like that. So as we had this in the US, at least this shift into new government, how that's gone so far, and all through this summer and into the fall, I think we're going to have a lot of time to see what kind of progress we've made. Have we reevaluated things in a way that's been helpful? Have we come up short? So, anytime I talk about Saturn, the big thing to remember is that it wants you to pay attention to detail in your life. So, do your chores, do your jobs, do those things that you need to do, that you don't want to do, that are kind of get shoved in the closet. These things need to be taken care of, and this is the time with retrograde where Saturn is going to come back around and say, did you do your chores? And as long as we've done those well, we'll get the rewards, and this is the time where the benefits of that will come if we've done a good job. And if we haven't, we won't get those rewards, and we'll get even more work loaded on top of us. So any planet that goes into retrograde, I always use this little thing that helps me understand what it's doing, but it's a time to rewind, reevaluate, and redo. So are there places in your life where you maybe didn't do the best job you could about creating some type of structure or organization in your home, in your job, in your office, in your maybe spiritual practices, anything that you want to kind of look at again and say, am I doing the best I can? This is a good time to do that. It's a good time also to rebuild slowly and steadily. So the progress doesn't have to be dramatic or huge. It can be even if you maybe start something new one day a week. Say you had a goal to start exercising. Can you do that just one day a week? Or say you meant to, your big goal is to cut out sugar and that just really didn't happen. Can you cut out sugar one day a week or 2 days a week? So this is the perfect time to sort of look at these pieces of our life where we create systems around and evaluate how we've done with those. If you have planets in somewhere between 12 and 19 degrees of Capricorn as well, these planets will be really particularly affected too. So take a look at those planets. Those will show you a lot about what type of issues are going to come up around karma. Saturn's always about karma, so we want to look at those planets in relationship. We also want to look at what house Capricorn is in your chart. So if you don't know your chart, get in touch with me and do a reading. It's always really helpful to get even a little bit more specific about what areas of your life are getting affected during these transits. So if Saturn is also crossing your moon or your sun or your ascendant too, these are big deals too that we want to be a little bit more specific about and can see where we need to make these changes. So it's a big time in a lot of ways. As these systems are reevaluated internally, as societal systems are reimagined and kind of tested for what type of resilience they have, we can expect to see that a lot through the year into October. There's also some big eclipses coming up, which I'm going to make another video and talk about too, so you can check those out. It's, I think, a little bit more dramatic sometimes than these things, but I always want to emphasize with Saturn, do your work, do the things you know you're supposed to do, and it will give you the rewards in the end.